Hello, my friends. Welcome to Flex, Adapt with Intent. I'm Dina Hall. I'm assuming this is something like episode 26. I've been doing this since June of 2020, and I've had just an absolutely wonderful time having great conversations with artists from right here in the Lehigh Valley where I live to Canada and Washington, D.C., and my goodness, everywhere. Tonight, we're going to stay right here in the Lehigh Valley. This has been a year of some folks have been extremely creative, making music, putting out art, and others have not. And we're going to talk about those who are being creative over the course of a pandemic and had some time on their hands and putting out some great music right now. Album releases are not the same as they would be in times where we could gather. So we've gotten creative and we're putting this stuff out over the internet. And what we've created tonight is what we're calling a listening party. So you folks are part of the party. I'm sort of the I'm the party. What would you call it? The party coordinator. Not necessarily the host of the party. I'm going to bring the hosts on in a little bit. I've got a question for you. And this is made up of combined quotes from different publications here in this area. What do you get when you mix a sullen, sultry crooner, someone said that, and refined songwriter with a surreal guitarist and composer of post-apocalyptic dystopian landscapes? So think on that for a moment. Hot for Robot explores the darker, whimsical, and at times humorous sides of transcendence. Nobody wanna be just human, sings Alex Radus of mankind's implacable drive to improve itself. Musing on war, drugs, the media, and exploring the stars, Hot for Robot reflects on and anticipates what is gained and lost as humanity creates newer and more complex versions of itself. Think a musical version of Netflix's Black Mirror, blending a colorful palette of influences like Dire Straits, Radiohead, David Bowie, Muse, the Pixies. Hot for Robot creates rich, textured soundscapes in service to melody and lyric-driven compositions, merging thoughtful commentary with energetic and emotive indie rock delivery. And there you have the background on it all. Please welcome Dave Cahill, Alex Radus.
Hello.
Welcome.
There we are. Hot for Robot. Hiya, friends.
Hi. I love hearing that. That is a great. I love what's on our website.
Who wrote it?
Yeah,
Them's a lot of pretty words.
There are a lot of pretty words.
And good words.
Yeah,
I
you
like
gotta
them a
have
lot.
good words. All right, that question at the top. You've got this thing, and it was really well done because, I mean, this is a debut, right? And you've already gotten some great testimonial reviews, all of that kind of stuff. So, you want to touch on that? Tell us who has heard this and give you that wonderful sound bites. Sullen, sultry crooner.
So that's from the City Paper in Philadelphia, and I had a guy who was very generous in writing some snippets on me when I was living and playing down there. AD Amorosi got to get some pretty cool quotes from him. He was very much tapped in and still is to the music scene and wrote for a couple of different papers down there. So that one's from the City Paper.
And mine was either that one or the other one, which was his music sounds like a car alarm. So we went with the first one.
The post-apocalyptic dystopian
I like
landscapes.
that one a little bit better.
And that was from where?
I think
Elucidator?
I believe Elucidator.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was a reference to WDVR as well. Yeah,
that's right.
Big fans.
Yeah. It takes time to develop those relationships, and have those people you can call on and reach out and ask them, and they're like, sure, I'll listen to it and tell you what I think.
Enough. Yeah, then it being good enough for them to like want to write back,
Yeah, and give you that airplay as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and proceeds further. But yeah, I mean, just listening to it, it's just the time, just to take the time to listen to it is always just a nice thing in itself. So
yeah, I would agree.
Dave and I come from really, really different backgrounds and different styles. I mean, our solo work couldn't possibly be more different, and that was something that we wanted to kind of highlight. How that clash of completely opposite styles, kind of, with the addition of an incredible rhythm section provided by Andy Janowiak on drums and Evan Straley on the bass, who really supported everything that we were trying to accomplish and gave a lot to it. But Dave and I were just total opposites in a lot of ways, and the sound of Hot for Robot is just a clash of that opposites in a very cool way, we think. So we wanted to highlight that with those quotes about me singing my usual kind of Americana or crooner jazz stuff, and then Dave comes in with his dystopian landscapes, and what do you think?
I leave
Surreal.
dystopian landscapes all over the place.
Yeah.
In my
Well, I had no idea what to expect when I hit the play button. I really had no idea what to expect, because I know what that. And Alex, I've heard your first record as well, and then the second. And of course, I'm very familiar with "You Can't Play Like Django," which features Dave on that gypsy jazz, which this is a far cry from all of that. Yeah. How did the two of you come to meet each other?
I actually just remembered this. My first show, my first paying gig, Alex played with me, but also we were opening up for Andy Janowiak's band with Joe Stubbe that night. So my very first show was with Andy in the other band who played drums in Hot for Robot, and with Alex. And I was like, oh my God, Andy was at that show. I remember we were in the newspaper. I remember the picture for the paper. I purposely made a really complex chord, like, for the picture. So stupid. But yeah, so we've been playing together since before that, but that was my first show, and Alex was very supportive. He was already had gone on tour and pretty much took me under his wing, in a sense, where they had all these shows, and I have all of those shows archived on my website. You can go back to 2003 and look at when we played, Witch Brew or whatever, and yeah, so I mean, yeah, those are some good times.
What's that website, Dave?
DaveCahill.com. Yeah, I archived all of them.
CAHILL.
Been pretty barren and empty lately, but dust off the old archive. There's a lot of shows.
There we go.
Yeah, when we met, we were at a party that Dave was definitely way too young to be at, and he was just like this incredible phenom on the guitar, and we had mutual friends that were really excited about introducing us, and I'm so glad that they did, because they were right. They knew we were just gonna lock in and connect, and we did from the second we started playing guitar. We both immediately realized that we had a shared love for Django Reinhardt and gypsy jazz, and we started there, and now we're here somehow, and there's been a bunch of projects and collaborations in between, but this is the first time I think we've really put our heads together at this level in such an intentional way with an incredible band, and really just wrote some interesting tunes, and I think we got a wonderful recording of them thanks to Brian Herman.
Just a side note, I know that there are multiple recordings from both of you I know for a fact WDIY has them. I'm sure there are other radio stations, but both of your CDs are in the library there. So anyone wishes to request any of your music from independent radio, just call up on the phone or send an email, a message or something, and request both of that. So you mentioned the other band members, and who started the process on this? What kicked it off? Because I want to get into actually start showing people some of the music, but who kicked it off?
Good question.
I don't remember. I mean, I remember it was percolating, and I think at one point one of us just said to the other, "You want to really do this?" And we're just like, "Yeah." And right around that time, I met Evan Straley, who plays bass, and
oh yeah, you knew Evan, and I knew Andy.
You brought Andy in,
yeah.
And Evan and I were at a blues jam in Easton somewhere, and he went up to play bass with kind of the house band. and they played, in my memory, like a pretty standard blues progression. But I was just blown away at all the different things Evan was doing with that 1-4-5 progression, and I was just like, I think this guy should be in this band, which was, I don't even think it had a name yet. So I pulled him in, and yeah,
he's having a great time when he's playing. Like when he's playing, some of the things he comes up with, like it seems as if he had a great time coming up with it. Like some of it's really cool. And Andy, I mean, like if I ever am like, I want to record something, I want it to be like the best, whatever that may be. First person I'm calling is Andy, because like not only can he do crazy stuff that I can kind of like ask or explain, like, could you do it like, and kind of explain, he's like this, and just like nails it like first time. We're like, we might as well do 2 or 3 takes, even though that one was perfect, but I feel like we're doing a disservice so we don't do, we usually would do it on like 1 or 2 takes. It's like crazy. It's so good.
I think it's good when you find that. Don't ever let that go.
Yeah.
That kind of person.
Yeah. And especially when that being the most important part of the, the rhythm section, it's like it allows for the freedom. For me, it was the first time I was able to just be a guitar player and just focus on that and not sing and not do everything. And it was like so cool to be able to really just focus on that, and have and that wouldn't be possible without Evan and Andy laying it down.
Yeah,
because I'd be micromanaging everything or whatever,
Yeah, and I think the song that we're going to kick it off with tonight, and that the album opens with, I think is one of the first songs that we, that Dave and I sat down and really started working on together, and then brought Evan and Andy in, and it's sort of the tune that we opened every show with, I think, and it just sits there in the catalog. So
it says a lot about us.
All right, so let's do that. While I get it set up, do you want to? I'm going to get it ready to play. If you want to, set up what this is about. Go ahead. You tell the title.
Sure. Yeah, this is called "Made with Guns." This is the lead single off the album. It's the first track, and it's about a couple of different things, but mainly it sort of focuses on how human progress is often so often built on violence and conflict.
All righty, here we go.
Everything that you ever seen was made with guns. Van got chops, the bullets flew, the good guys won. Man who got the biggest money, man who got the biggest muscle, 6'8". Man who got the biggest money, man who got the biggest muscle, 6'8". One hand does it. Yeah, the taking, oh, he does it. Everything that you ever seen, watered in blood, felt like rain, cut rivulets through rock and mud. Man who got the biggest money, man who got the biggest muscle, 6'8". Man who got the biggest money, man who got the biggest muscle, 6'8". Take it, oh, he doesn't.
Yeah,
Cool.
Well,
that
all
really
right.
was.
What a sweet video.
I've got to ask about where all that footage came from.
Alex?
Yeah, so like so many other bands out there, we're not signed and we're bootstrapping it and just doing what we got to do. And we found this, trying to figure out like, well, what are we gonna do for a music video? Everybody's got music videos these days, and we found this public domain footage website and just had a lot of fun finding some really interesting stuff there and some stuff that almost just magically synced up without
Yeah,
us
there was
even.
some crazy
Yeah.
Dark Side of the Rainbow kind of things happening. That one night we watched, I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God, we don't even have to do anything. The Your Chemical one is gonna be,
Yeah.
it's like basically, and the coolest part about that one is that song's in 5/4, and there's this heartbeat part in the beginning, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and it does it in 5, and it's like syncs up exactly, and
It's
and it's
crazy.
yeah, and it's a yeah, the video itself is about something completely unrelated. It's good stuff. It's gonna be So we're gonna put out one for every song, I believe, and then one super special one.
And I assume, Dave, you're doing a lot of work putting those together.
It's a lot of fun. I'm basically learning Final Cut at the same time, which is fun, and
Okay.
it's a lot. It's very similar as the other stuff. So
Okay, I wondered about that. Wow.
yeah, it's not so bad. It's
No.
good.
And
You
who
fight
wrote
with it.
who wrote that one
We wrote that together.
together?
Yeah, I did. I did all the lyrics on the album, and then a lot of the music Dave and I did together, and some of it Andy and Evan chipped in on as well. And so yeah, it was nice to. I mean, you know, Dina, you're a solo artist as well, and Dave is, and I am, and it's really fun to collaborate with
sure is.
with others. You know, you just you go places you never would have
Oh,
otherwise.
the evolution of the song is just, it's a gift, I think.
I still remember when Dave and I wrote that chorus, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I think we're
Yeah, that's a good one.
The lyrics are, I mean, obviously the vocals are mixed. It's really blended in with the instrumentation. The lyrics, are they available somewhere? I really want to,
yeah,
like,
I
I'm
do that.
picking them out little bits. I hear something more, each time I listen to it, especially the
tomorrow?
chorus.
Yeah.
do
The
that
lyrics are all on our Bandcamp site.
Okay.
They're going to be up on our regular website at some point soon, and they will be in the liners in the sleeve of the vinyl when
great.
that comes out.
Great.
Speaking of which, we should announce our little
Okay.
giveaway contest tonight to the folks at home. And by the way, folks at home, welcome and thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. We're really excited about this album and really excited to share it with all of you. So during tonight's live stream, if you head over to hot4robot.com, HOT, the digit 4 robot.com, you can put it maybe in the chat. Sign up for our website, or sign up for our mailing list.
For our web kit.
Sign up for our worldwide online, and we'll pick somebody's name out of a hat of anybody that signs up, and they'll get a free vinyl. They'll get a free copy of the digital, and Dave's making a lot of weird noise as usual.
Sure
I'm
is.
sorry.
Oh.
I'm trying to. There we go.
There it
I
is.
mean,
Bag of
that's
shit.
sort of his role in the band, right? He makes the weird noise.
Yeah, I'm doing the sound effects.
Yep.
Join
All right.
our web zone.
Get on it.
Yeah. So come on over to the mailing list, because I've been so frustrated this past week, and I know so many musicians share my frustration about like posting stuff on Facebook, and I think Facebook just like eats it alive, and because they want us to pay to boost stuff, and so nobody's seeing these. We've had this great rollout of this album, and I'm just like, is anybody even seeing this? So sign up for the mailing list, because that's the best way that musicians possibly have to tell you what's going on.
We'll repeat that message again later.
Yep,
In
definitely.
this thing, and it'll be in the comments too a couple times, so as you're going through, you folks won't miss it. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to keep the music rolling, because this is a party.
Woo! It's like in real life party. 3 people.
It's real life right now.
Pandemic party.
That's right. Okay, so you want to set up the next one?
Yeah, sure. This is a song called "Your Chemical," and this bass line came from actually a totally different song and a totally different band. Dave and I were in the Fools together back in the day, a jam band, and I wrote this bass line, and I completely forget what song it actually went to anymore. But some song I wrote and forgot, and then but it fast forwarded and got used in this tune where it fits. And so Your Chemical is about the things that we hold dear that don't treat us so well, our addictions or our habits, and this song kind of explores that.
Alrighty.
And this is a Sunglasses song, by the way.
Oh, sunglasses.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go. Ready.
So
I like that one.
Wowza.
Wowza. I'm blind.
It's heating up. My computer is overheating.
Yes, that will
I was-
definitely happen.
I was wondering what I was hearing, and it's the fan.
Yes, that's all that's our fans.
That's your fans. I thought it was the
Yeah.
audience. Just,
It's a feature, not a bug.
it's my fan. Okay. How many guitars did you play in that song?
I don't know. I don't know. We'll usually do one thing that I love doing is and you have to really be on your guitar player, because I'm the worst for doing this, and Brian would be on me. Just play the same thing. Do it exactly the same way. It'll be slightly different just from playing it again, but you do the same thing exactly the same twice, and you put it, hard left, hard right. So it's not it wouldn't be like, you can't just copy paste and just duplicate it. It would be too similar. So the slight difference, it really adds.
Wow.
And then you could do that a bunch of times, to really bring up a part. So that's like one thing that that's an easy one to forget, like a rhythmic part like that, where you could really layer it. But also and another thing that I learned from Brian, which is probably my favorite thing to do, is to take stuff out. So you have all this stuff piled in, like, oh, it sounds more. And it's like, what if we just take everything out and just boom, 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 boom. Like, so there's whoa, you get a lot.
It's a stark contrast.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
it's so cool to be able to do that kind of thing when you have different things, like different resources of the song.
Yeah. And did you layer any of the vocals?
Yeah, some of the choruses are doubled in this kind of the same fashion that Dave's talking about. Just a technique to make it feel more like a live show where
Get
you're
some
sort of
sparkle in
in the middle
there.
of music. Yeah, a little sparkle in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. What I really love about it is the crescendo that you both are able to just keep going higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, higher and higher. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the
Upgrading.
ending of that song. And
Yeah,
then Andy does something that I don't like. I mean, the song's in like 5/4, and he makes it feel like it's in 4/4 at the end, and it just rocks. It sounds
Wow.
amazing. I don't even know what he's doing, but
yeah. Yeah. I remember that. I was like, whoa, that was cool. We couldn't have I don't even know. Yeah, it was like one of those like happy accidents, I want to say, almost. It was like, and it was just like perfect. I was like, yeah, that was cool. It just felt natural. It felt like, I like that too about this. It's not so the album is like a lot, like we did it live together, with a layering and stuff like that. But I mean, especially that song and the last song just has a really good live vibe to it, I think.
Yeah.
So instead of like it's always nice to have a nice balance between having it like raw and having a really cool produced sound, and not doing it too far either way. Or sometimes it's fun to do that too, though.
So basically, you had fun in the
Oh, yeah.
studio. Like ultimately,
Always.
it's always fun. Okay,
It's always fun with these
that's
guys.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to get to the next video?
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler warning. This may cause rashes and headaches.
No.
Yeah, there's lots of blinking lights in this video, for real.
Yeah. I don't know
I'm
what's
not-
gonna happen.
yeah,
This
I'm
might
not sure,
break
but-
everything.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't know when we're supposed to warn people about that, but we're going to anyway.
Well, I
Yeah,
put the
spoiler
warning.
alert.
I put the warning on the screen,
Yeah.
and it's there. So you've got plenty of time. Go ahead. You can talk about the
yeah.
about the song.
Yeah, this is a song called Binary World. And, the whole album is kind of thematic in that it's really about the way that humans try to transcend themselves, often through tech, but sometimes in other ways. And binary, and each song falls under that theme in some way. And Binary World is about, the temptation we have to oversimplify the world, to make it black and white, to make it a little bit easier to manage on a day-to-day basis. But, of course, we know there's a lot of gray areas in the world. And to me, the sort of, defining, when we're talking about lyrics, that to me, the defining lyric of this song is the gray area is rebel held. You really have to be a rebel in life in some ways to be willing to, to live in the gray area in a world that wants to pull you in one direction or the other. So I'll let Dave set up the video, though. He put it.
Okay.
This is our premiere of the Binary World video.
Yeah, this video broke me this week. So as I said with the first one, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I kind of do. And this one, Alex made a video of him doing it in at home. He sent it to me. So we were thinking, oh, we'll do the public domain videos. And then this one, he sent that, and I was like, actually, this is really cool. So then I was like, we found this one public domain video, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I tried a bunch of stuff, and then I went back to just the black and white version. I'm thinking, all right, well, binary. So we recorded me doing the song as well, and then yeah, and then I couldn't like get it to sync right. Something was off over and over. I kept like doing it, and it takes like an hour to make the file. So it's like you do all the stuff, you make it, and it's like, wait, what the heck? So yeah, but then I pretty much just went like this and just hit all the buttons, and then I was like, whoa, I think that's right. Oh my god, that worked. So
Syncing the audio with the
just a sample rate issue. Once we found out what the issue was, and it was basically, I'm sure anyone that's recorded live audio has dealt with this with video. Video's at 48, and if you've been recording a long time, you're used to 44.1 being the default. But at one point that changed, so that's like old school. No one does that anymore. Everyone does 48 or 96. But yeah, so anyway, something simple as that, where it doesn't line up at the end as it does in the beginning. So once that was figured out, then it was all smooth sailing.
I learned something new tonight.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So here we go. This is Binary World.
Different colors than this face. Ain't no country
No filter on that video. There's none. That's all real. I actually took a thing and I glitched the file, like a file corruptor, and corrupted the end of the file on purpose, and then re-imported the video and then put the audio into that. And I went a little heavy on it. So it actually like glitches the actual file, not just like an effect, but it totally broke the first file. I had to make a whole new one. But if you do it too much, my phone would reboot when I played it because I did it too much. When I went to play, my phone just shut down. Yeah, if you do
Wow.
it too much, yeah, it's kind of like you can corrupt old video games, so you can like send in bytes and it will like cause the sky to turn purple or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
So you can do that to
All right.
video and audio.
This is a great segue into Dave. What's your day job? And we say day job, but I mean, what's your parallel career?
Computers. Oh,
Okay, clearly.
Yeah. Yes.
And Alex,
Attorney.
there you go. So, you know, it's natural, right? An attorney and a computer guy would put this together. The dynamic is really quite incredible.
We need each other.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's for
Everyone
sure.
needs a computer. Everyone needs an attorney.
Yeah, I hear you.
And
I
they're both
just-
usually about as excited to see us.
Yeah, really. It's really more about what's my checkbook gonna how's that gonna happen? It's not like calling the guy to come install the pool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's a good
I just
idea.
love how, again, with your vocal, Alex, just keeps going higher and higher. Does that push your range all the way to, or you go higher than that, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to sing in a completely different style. Yeah. I mean, I think probably You're Precious, which we're going to hear tonight, gets, closer to the top of my range.
Oh, okay.
There's some good screaming in that. But
Yeah, you keep that
just
song at the end of the night.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's just Hot for Robot is a home for, the voices in my head that never had anywhere else to go in my, Americana duos or my jazz quartets, or this is really, really fun stuff to sing. And
But I think that, people tend to think that we're all like pigeonholed into, one, oh, they've only seen you do this, or, they've only heard the jazz, but to know that we're all so versatile, and it's the business, it's like the label makers who put you into the categories, I think.
yeah, I mean, that's kind of what Binary World is about in some ways, and You're Precious is too. We're very much encouraged to sort of create these PR versions of ourselves that are going to sort of do well in the marketplace, right? But they don't really reflect who we are and the complexity of who we are, and so that's probably like as far as a career choice, wasn't the best move for me to try to play every genre or even have like 5 different genres on one album, the way, Jules and Tinware is or something. But
You can't help it.
but that's just the way I write. I love a bunch of different genres, and I want to write in all those genres, and that's
That's all right.
Me and Alex do a mean version of Welcome to the Jungle and Bluegrass.
Yep.
Really? Bluegrass.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, the first time I heard Alex sing, it was at the Regalsville Inn. I walked in and I hadn't met him yet, and I thought, I'm hearing Lindsey Buckingham, Big Love. Like, just that's what I heard. Like, it reminded me of.
Yeah,
And-
well, he was
and-
a big influence on me, especially guitar playing. Like him and Mark Knopfler, as far as like just learning to play fingerstyle and not play with the pick.
Yeah.
I really looked up to them, and I love that song of his. He's got a really great like belting high range. It's really fun to listen to him sing.
Yeah. So there's that diversity again.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. All right. What's next? We've got Just Human.
Yeah, Just Human. So this is the thematic heart and soul of the album. Nobody wants to be just human. We're all augmenting ourselves in some ways, and in this society, we're all augmenting ourselves so many different ways we don't even realize that we're doing it. We just kind of consider it normal. But this song is Nobody Wants to Be Just Human. It starts off with wanting to see further into the stars and turning our eyes into telescopes, and eventually gets into editing our kids' DNA to prevent disease. And so, what do we do with these powers that we have, and do we have the wisdom to use the things that we have the intellect to do?
All right. You ready?
Turn our eyes into telescopes. We want to see what the Big Bang wrote. 100,000 million years before the Earth started to float. Turn our hearts into drum machines. Who could never kick them to a bad way? Fill our veins full of gasoline. It'll burn out of the galaxy. Don't you wanna be just human? Don't you wanna be just human? Make me live make us free from all doubt and fear. We want the loneliness to disappear. Give us a pill and a glass of milk, and we'll be grinning from ear to ear. Let our children never know disease. We want to create genetic dynasties. Take the mistakes out of the DNA, and the brutality of this culture. Don't you wanna be just human? Don't you wanna be just human? Make me live Don't you wanna be just human? Make me live Don't you wanna be just human?
Cool.
Wow. Yeah.
That's an intense one.
Just human. Yes.
Heavy, man.
Where'd your glasses go, Alex?
He's muted. Alex,
Still got the glasses.
unmute.
I see that. There we go.
You can't get through one call like this without talking while you're muted.
Yeah.
You can't. What's with the robot there in the corner there, Alex?
This is our little mascot.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Who made that?
I don't know.
He did.
This came from your lair, Dave, didn't it?
He made itself.
It made himself. It made
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah. That's the beauty of it. They just make themselves. They're gonna take care of us. It's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be
Gosh.
fine.
I'm gonna pop some comments on the screen for you.
Uh-oh.
Vagrant Forever, friend of yours.
We'll see. It depends on how you read "Hey Boys." Hey boys.
Hey boys. All right. Wayne Apgar. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Charlie Marcovici. His robots.
Hey boys.
Love this stuff.
Yep.
That is
Dave
Jared.
Fry. That was a good one. And
Wow,
Tina
look at all those comments.
has subscribed to the email list. So
Thank you, Tina.
follow Tina's lead, y'all. There you go.
Do whatever she says. Now that you did that,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
watch
seeing
out for Vagrant Forever.
we got some mailing list subscribers coming in, so somebody's gonna win a vinyl before the end of this.
Great.
This
Yep, just give us your DNA and the last 4 digits of the credit card, and you'll be
And
set.
that's all we need.
That's all.
We'll deduct what we want each month.
Yeah, for your DNA.
Is it hard to get vinyl these days? Hard to buy it, purchase. So the price is really high.
This is the first time I think either of us have ever done it, and so I don't have a whole lot to compare it to. I mean, I hear that the wait times are longer than usual because everybody's so backed up. It's kind of, I remember, I think every CD I've pressed for the last 10 years, I've wondered, am I really going to press a CD, or am I ever going to do this again? And it's this constant sort of question for musicians, I think, that's been on our minds for a long time now is, do we invest money in this? Like, is this going to be obsolete tomorrow technology?
Yeah.
But, vinyl seems to have some real staying power. And this to me was just a no-brainer vinyl album.
Yeah, for sure.
Is just like what you want to drop the needle on is an album like this. At least I do. So, Dave and I, if nothing else, we just spent a whole lot of money for each of us to have a vinyl of this.
Yeah, basically.
I'll have to get my name on that email list. I spent a whopping $4, I think, on a new needle for a turntable I've had since I was 16.
Nice.
So
yeah, it's fun too to think about how the songs fit on a side and like that whole thing, and then do we put that same space between tracks 3 and 4 when listening to it digitally, or does that space not exist?
Oh wow.
Just like kind of things like that, and with Brian, being the pilot of the of the mechanical ship.
Brian, the producer, right?
Yeah, Brian Herman. Yeah, he's everything
incredible.
goes through him.
Producing and engineering?
Everything you could think of. Yeah.
Great. All right.
So the thing that was really interesting to me about vinyl is that you to really get the best sound quality possible, you want to keep it under 20 minutes aside. And again, that's this album was perfect for that. But it just got me thinking that just like all those classic albums that we think of were like 40 minutes long.
That's it.
It's pretty amazing. If that. Yeah. If that. So
and you had to get up and flip it over.
Right. So you start to understand, oh, okay, I kind of get where the 3-minute song came from, if that's the case, right? I mean, we don't get we don't quite get to the 3-minute song mark here, but that's all right. It's not what it's all about.
Cool. All right, what's our last song we're going to play here?
All right. This last song is called You're Precious. And, this is the one that's like, there's always something that surprises you. And the feedback this song has been getting over the past couple weeks has really surprised me. Which in a great way, people are just kind of reacting to it and they're really into it. So I wanted to make sure that we included it tonight. And again, I mentioned this earlier, but You're Precious, goes into how we create these kind of very simplified PR market-based versions of ourselves in the social media world. And maybe, that begins to reflect how we actually think about ourselves in real life.
All righty.
the shirt, had a great time, made a real good impression on the people that could get you somewhere. Nice face, gray hair, the people just stare, stare and stare. Cause you're precious, you're precious, you're precious to the silver and gold. You're precious, you're precious, something for the crowd to behold, behold, and they will. I got lucky, had a pencil, got to sketch all the lines in your face all the time. Had a vision, made a million, the people just stare, stare and stare. Cause you're precious, you're precious, you're precious to the silver and gold. You're precious, so precious, something for the crowd to behold. You're precious, you're precious, you're precious to the silver and gold. You're precious, you're precious, something for the crowd to behold. Can't remember if I ever loved you. Just a famous memory. When the thunderstorms shake my head, you get into my head, and I remember, oh, I do. Everybody knows where's the ball. The picture with me is $1 million plan, man. Turn a beautiful accident into a beautiful act. Come up with a billion destination after the fact. You're precious, you're precious, you're precious, so silver and gold. You're precious, you're precious, something for the crowd to behold, and they will. You're precious, so precious, you're precious, so silver and gold. You're precious, so precious, something for the crowd to behold. Can't remember ever loved you. Me,
How do you decide when it's over?
You just leave a lot of room in the beginning and a lot of room at the end.
Wowza.
Yep.
Yeah, you do. Wow.
When you break gravity.
Yeah, that's the first rule of breaking gravity is to leave room in the beginning and end, and always get a DI. Always have an 8 count off and a DI for every track.
I was going to chime in with my funky glasses too.
Go for it. Do it.
Do
You all
it,
got your
please.
fun ones, right?
Yep.
These
I
are
got my just
prescription.
human glasses.
Oh yeah,
Really?
yours.
Yeah,
My real human
Yours are-
eyeballs.
Yours are the creepiest for sure. Oh gosh. There we go.
I like that.
Oh yeah. That's it.
I'm 38.
And this is why we need to have a live Halloween show. I'm thinking
I think so.
to make that happen. It'd be just too much fun.
Thanks a lot. I have totally enjoyed this, and everyone else has as well. Lots of great comments coming up.
Thank you all so much.
Yes.
I like Alex has a voice like velvet.
Velvet. Especially when he screams.
Oh my god.
Velvet
love that.
screamer.
Velvet sandpaper. Thank you all so much for tuning in with us tonight. We really, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're
Thank
so
you.
excited about this album, and we're really excited to play it live for you. But we'll be there soon. So we hope to see you at a live show someday in the very near future.
All right, don't forget, join Hot for Robot email list and be entered to win a limited edition 12-inch vinyl. And that is, the link is in the comments. You can just click on it, I believe. All right. Thank you so very much.
Thank
What
you.
a fun time we've had.
Thank you so much, Dina.
Yeah. And where's the go to the website to get the links to get the record? Like that'll take you to the Bandcamp and wherever else.
Yeah, exactly.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's on all the things, but Bandcamp
Our
is
web
where Bandcamp is where the artist actually keeps
The
most-
money.
Well,
Especially
I
on
know NFT.
Bandcamp Fridays.
Yeah, exactly.
Special
Yeah.
Bandcamp Friday, where it's really been nice of them. They don't keep it a secret. They let you know and they let you tell everyone to buy your music on Bandcamp Fridays, and you get to keep everything. No revenue goes to.
Yeah, I've always liked them. They've always made
Bandcamp.
it easy to They always were an easy competitor to iTunes or whatever, just a really easy way to listen. If you want to listen for free, name your own price was the thing that they kind of did first, or early at least. I always liked Bandcamp.
Wow. Look at that. Maria says it's good stuff.
Hey, do you know her?
I guess
Glad
we
to hear
should
that.
take her word for it.
That's the artist of our album cover. We should mention
I was going to ask about that.
Right.
Where all that art came from.
12-year-old Maria Radus painting.
Yeah, that is an original Maria Radus painting from when she was 12, and it just fit.
It's perfect.
Fit
Soon it'll be an
perfectly in that
NFT.
square.
It was just the album cover.
It'll make $1 million as an NFT, and we'll
Yeah, buy our NFT and then resell it.
yeah.
Well, all right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Alex Radus, Dave Cahill, Hot for Robot. The last thing we have to do is some kind of high five if you can.
Oh, wait,
Oh,
which side am I?
I going up. So here you go. You did it. Hey, hit me, somebody. Okay.
Yeah, this is harder than it looks.
It's harder than it looks. It
Pat
is.
you on the
It
head.
looks pretty hard.
All right.
Yeah, this is actually really hard. Wait a second. Can I pick you up by your head and pull you into my world? Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Nice.
Wow, this is hard, Mira.
It
Oh,
is.
man, maybe
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
a boomer. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. All right. Again, thanks so much.
All right.
Thank you.
And I'll
Thank
see you
you.
soon, both of you.
Bye.
See you all soon.
Bye.
Thanks so much.
Thank you all for tuning in, watching. What a great time that was. Really enjoyable. I hope you were listening in headphones because it makes the experience all that much better. For those who have been watching all along, you know that 10% of any tips sent my way go to Turning Point of the Lehigh Valley. I do this completely labor of love. Nobody gets paid anything anywhere along the way. So if you're so kind, send anything over. A few people have along the way, pen pal or Venmo, Dina Hall 2020, and I have set it up so that I make a monthly donation to Turning Point of the Lehigh Valley, and that's an agency that provides services and resources to folks who are victims of domestic abuse. And now is just as good a time as any to support that. And agencies everywhere, but particularly here in our own area, that money stays local. And this being one of them. Well, thanks so much. I'm Dina Hall. I have had absolutely wonderful time tonight, and I look forward to seeing you again.